All right, Herc. John Herdman was pumping the brakes there. Let's not do that here on Futbol Americas. Is Canada the best team in CONCACAF or what?
No, they're not. I'm with John Herdman. They may be the team that's punching above their weight, or the best coach team right now, playing to their fullest potential, because it's certainly not Mexico, and it certainly hasn't been. It's a very even a Jekyll and Hyde type of U.S. men's national team, but Canada, they're just running on all cylinders.
Who's playing better than Canada?
Well, no. You asked me if they're the best. If they're playing better, that's a different question. Yes, they're the team right now that's punching above their weight, playing to their fullest potential. And if I look at the lines, and let's be honest, if you look talent per talent, player per player on all lines, probably the only line where you say they have a leg up or they can compete with the best in CONCACAF is that offensive trident of Alphonso Davies, Tejan Buchanan, and Jonathan David, up there with any trident in CONCACAF. But then the midfield line, the center backs, the goalkeeping, you would say, okay. But they're all playing very well, and it's the best coach team in CONCACAF. Every single player. Now, if I could really quickly, okay, we talk about John Herdman. Think about how smart this man is. Think about how tactically brilliant he was. He set the game plan for Gregg Berhalter to play Mexico, how to play him, okay? Goal scorer. In El Estadio Azteca, Jonathan Osorio, one of your most creative players, doesn't start this game. Jonathan David, the best 9 for my money in CONCACAF, doesn't start this game. You go with Kyle Larin. Guess what? Kyle Larin gets you 2 goals. Kyle Larin leads CONCACAF with 5 goals right now. He just keeps hitting it out the park with everything he does. Do I think they're the best team? No. Are they playing the best? Yes. And not just today. I said this about a month and a half ago.
Who's the best team then?
Ultimately, I still think when it's all said and done on talent level, it's Mexico.
Ooh, on talent level, Mexico. I'll say, you're saying talent Mexico. Is Canada the second most talented or third most talented then in CONCACAF?
The way I rate this, and I don't know if you agree, tell me if you don't, but when every team's playing to their optimal level, that's who the best is, okay? When you can get the best version of that team, I think in the best version of Mexico, it trumps both the U.S. and Canada. Yeah, if we're going off of Gregg Berhalter, the players, I'm with Taylor on. It's the players, because I agree with what you're saying, and you hit the nail on the head here, and what you said, it's a 2-game window, so you can be afforded that opportunity not to make these rotations, to say it's only 2 games. I don't have to play a third. I don't have to worry about overworking these players. And maybe I give the people a little bit of what they want, a consistent lineup, and your hand was forced with 2 changes, so you make them. Maybe Joe Scally could have came on, getting his feet wet. You could have given him a little bit of experience. Okay, but it's pretty much what I think consensus with Twitter, with U.S. men's national team pundits, with fans, what they wanted to see, and yet the players didn't produce. And they didn't produce not because of quality, it looked because of mentality. They looked timid, they looked scared, they looked bullied. They really looked like any 50-50 ball, they wanted to make it to a 60-40. I don't want this. It's theirs. I'm not going to put my foot in here. You know what? The ball here, I don't want to try trapping it here, take it there, take a touch, take somebody on, because it looks like a difficult situation. It almost felt like they wanted no part of this.
In the past, the second-half subs have really been what Gregg Berhalter has relied upon to make the difference. So why didn't they have that impact then this time around, Taylor? Did he wait too long in the case of Christian Pulisic, waiting till the 74th minute to bring him on?
Yeah, I mean, Seb, it's obviously a good observation, right? The second half is where he's impacted almost every single World Cup qualifier. And yet, in saying that, the game against Jamaica wasn't a game where Pulisic's going to come in there and dictate the game. Every single time he's going to touch it, he's going to get fouled. This is the kind of game, and this is still where I have some question marks about this young, inexperienced group and the identity that they have, is that when everything's perfect, they're pretty good. But when something's imperfect and when something's a little, can you be a little dirty? Can you be a little more direct? Can you fight? Can you roll up your sleeves and win an ugly game? We haven't seen that necessarily yet. We may have saw that in the second half against Honduras, but you follow where I'm going, guys. Like, at times in CONCACAF, and Herc, you know this because you've done it, you've got to play ugly. You can't play in a perfect field, in a perfect situation, and try to find a way to win. And that's less about Gregg Berhalter for me, Seb. It's more about the players, and it's more the collection of players that's saying, you know what, this is the kind of game where, do we even want 62% of possession? Maybe we want to shove it down their throats and fight and win 50-50 balls and try to win the game that way versus trying to play pretty on a field that, honestly, you and I, us three, couldn't have played on there with, Timberland boots on. That's that kind of situation it is at times in Jamaica.
I agree with what you're saying, and we could talk about possession, we can talk about numbers, we talk about tactics and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, it's still a point. And we could say it's not been good from the U.S. men's national team. But if we go back and look at the performances on the road, they've only lost to Panama. Maybe that's the worst performance. Everywhere else, they've gotten a result with this tried and true, formula of winning your home games and stealing on the road. They've been doing that to a sense. So we could sit here and nitpick, and we could say it's not been pretty, but this very inexperienced group got a result.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.